Hello, this is Data Up Consulting, and for this week's tutorial video, I'll be giving a basic first look at a few of the data editing options in Domo's Magic ETL. First, you have to connect to your database's ETL. Once here, we can start looking at the three data editing options we're going to be looking at today, which are remove duplicates, set column value, and replace text. To begin, drag and drop the remove duplicates object into the ETL and connect your dataset to it. So let's drag and drop, and as well as connect it. Now we can look at the editing window for the remove duplicates object, and we can see that we can select a column to be the guide for the removing. For example, if I select entry ID, any entry ID that is a duplicate of another, so for example, a row has an entry ID of 5, if another column or row has an entry ID of 5, then that will be considered a duplicate and will be removed. Moving on, we can look at set column value. So drag and drop that one in as well, connect it, and look at the editing options for this as well. So now here we can select a column. Once again, let's do entry ID, and we can select a column of replacing values. So say we want to replace that column or entry ID column with the data of a different column. We can then select that different column, and we can say date. So now every entry in entry ID will be corresponding to the specific date of the original outlaw. So for example, say entry ID 1 has a date of October 1st. Now that column, entry ID 1, will have the date October 1st in there instead of entry ID 1. Moving on to our last option today, we can drag and drop the replace text option. Once again, connect it and open up the editing window. Here we can select a column, let's say user full name. We can type a string, say Nathan. So we assume Nathan is an entry in the user full name. But say we want to replace that string now, we can replace every single Nathan entry with Jacob. So now when the dataset goes through, it'll find every single entry that has Nathan as a user full name and replace that full name with Jacob. Once you're done selecting your items, go ahead and hit done, and after it's connected, you're basically finished. So you just go ahead and hit save and run. After you finish editing it like this and have made the saves, you're completely finished. You just need to let it run and sort all of its new data, and then make sure to check it afterwards to make sure nothing that you didn't want to happen happened. For example, say you're trying to replace text, you want to go make sure that all the text you want to replace was replaced successfully, and no data that wasn't supposed to be replaced was replaced. You basically have to double and triple check everything after the fact to make sure stuff wasn't broken or changed without your knowledge. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helped.